What's up guys, Blake here from guidettovaping.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Geek Vape Griffin 25 Plus RTA. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've never had a good experience from using an RTA. And to be honest with you, I've never had an RTA work well for me. Now, I've used some in the past that was great on other people's devices, but when I build them myself and I wick them myself, I always have leaking issues. Probably about the only RTA that I've actually successfully built and wicked without any leaking issues was from sub-ohm tanks. I've given RTAs a chance plenty of times and they've never worked out. So anytime anyone ever wants to send me an RTA to review for you guys, I never want to take any part of it. However, Geek Vape insisted that they send me the Griffin 25 Plus and they wanted me to review it for you guys. Now, I talked to a few of my friends and they said, Blake, you know, I'll build the tank for you, I'll wick it for you, and I'll make sure that it's not leaking. However, I wanted to do this on my own, guys. I want an RTA that doesn't leak. I want an RTA that I can re-wick and I can rebuild and not have any issues. I mean, if I can't do it myself, what is the point? Do you seriously think I'm gonna drive to my friend's house or get him to come over here and rebuild my tank or re-wick my tank every time? Not gonna happen. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna build this tank myself. I'm gonna put the wicking in there myself, and hopefully it doesn't leak everywhere and cause me a big ass issue. As you can already tell, I really do not get along with these tanks. So guys, let's just hurry up and get to it. Let's dive down and take a closer look. Alright guys, so you were looking at the packaging for the Geek Vape Griffin 25 Plus RTA. So as you can see, it comes in this plastic enclosure. You got the RTA here on the left, the Geek Vape name here at the top, a few features, and then we had the RTA deck outlined in an image. Just below that, it says Griffin 25 Plus. At the bottom, you can just see we had the Geek Vape logo as well as the Geek Vape name, and then it's actually etched into the plastic. At the top, you can see we had the same thing. The side says Griffin 25 Plus, the other side the same thing, and then on the back side, it says kit contains, and it says the Griffin 25 Plus, one Allen key and one flat top cap. And then you also have one spare parts poly bag, one replacement glass tube, and then one single coil ceramic block. You got some information here regarding Geek Vape. You got the Geek Vape logo, and then you have a scratch check sticker for authenticity. So let's go ahead and open up the packaging. Pull out this RTA is the first thing we're gonna do. And then the next thing we're gonna do is pull up this little cardboard piece. And you can see we have some parts here. So at the top, you can see we have a little chuff cap. Then we have a little screwdriver tool. Under that is a bag of different parts such as O-rings and such. And then we have this little white piece here, which is used for if you're gonna use single coils in this RTA. And then the last thing we have here is a spare glass tube. Of course, if you drop this tank and you break the glass, you have another here. All right, so now we're gonna be looking at the Griffin 25 Plus RTA itself. Now the first thing I'm gonna show you here is this drip tip that is removable and has a large bore. Next, you can see that we have quad adjustable airflow here at the top. And then if you unscrew this top base here, this will allow you to fill your tank from the top. Now, if you look towards the bottom, you can see that we have dual adjustable airflow control. And if you look closely inside of the tank at the bottom, you can see we also have juice flow control. All right, so now let's open it up. You just screw this off, and then you are actually to the deck. Now, to get to the deck where you can build, you'll want to unscrew this chimney here. And then that exposes the deck. So guys, this is an 18.9 millimeter build deck here. But the first thing you'll notice here is the Kennedy style 4 millimeter bottom airflow tubes. Now, as far as the deck goes, guys, we have a 2-post setup with 2 terminals per post. And then getting away from this deck for just a minute, you can see at the bottom we have a 510 pin that is adjustable and is gold plated. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When it comes to RTAs, I am horrible, absolutely horrible. I never wick them right. Obviously, anybody can install coils and get a good vape. However, when it comes to RTAs, you have to wick them just right. And with my experience with these rebuildable tank atomizers, if I don't wick it just perfectly, then it's either I'm getting too much liquid or I'm not getting enough. So it has to be just right. Let's see how this one goes. All right, guys, so just give me a minute where I can install these coils and then I'll show you the wicking process. But first, before we do, I wanted to show you guys these pre-made coils that I ordered from Geek Vape. And you can see it comes with cotton here. And they're badass coils. This is actually the Alien Clapton coil, as you can see. Now, I know this is probably not the best coils to use for installing on this RTA, but I'm just going to give it a shot. All right, I'm finally done with the coils. That took forever. I kept wondering, like, what is going on? Why is one side heating up and not the other? And I tried everything that I knew of, but I forgot to actually screw in the screws more. So yeah, got that fixed. Now it's time to cut a piece of cotton to stick in these coils. Split them up. All right, so now that we got the cotton in those coils, it's time to cut those ends off. Now I'm gonna pull these ends down and see where I need to cut them. And I think I need to do it, I need to cut it probably where the chimney actually attaches to the base. So I'll cut that on each side. Then what I'm gonna do is stick that cotton down in there to fill up those holes. That's the juice hole area. Now, if you're not new to RDAs and you've used them before and know how to build them, don't look for me on any guidance as far as the wicking job goes, because I'll tell you what, I'm not the best teacher for that. All right, so now we're gonna throw some e-liquid on here just to get it all primed up. Let's try this out. Now let's put it back together. Put on that chimney. We're gonna open this top and put some e-liquid in the tank. Now just to let you guys know, this tank has a 5 mil e-liquid capacity. So you can get a lot of e-liquid in there. I got my tank halfway full and I just dropped that. Screw this back on. Then we should be good to go. Alright guys, you are back. You just seen a mess of me trying to rebuild and wick this RTA. Other than a couple minor issues with actually trying to use these coils on this RTA, everything went decent. I used some pretty decent performing coils. I used just enough cotton, what I think, and let's see if it actually leaks. So I have the Griffin 25 Plus RTA on top of this RX23 by Wismic, and there's no leaking at all. So go ahead and clap your hands. You know what? I'll do it for myself. Good job, Blake. That's right. I built an RTA and everything is going good. There's no leaking. I've had a little bit of leaking at first, and I think that was mainly for the air pressure that I had built up inside the tank. But right now, everything is going good. It's just sitting here chilling, no leaking going on. I mean, you can't beat that right there. That is a successful wicking job. Now, the cool thing I like about this RTA is that it's massive. I mean, it has a 5 mil e-liquid capacity. And not only do you get that, you get the wide bore drip tip at the top, then you get this quad adjustable airflow at the top as well. And then it's also got that top fill design, which means that you can actually fill your tank from the top, just like a sub-ohm tank. Now, in addition to that, guys, it's also got adjustable liquid control, which means that you can control how much liquid is going in. But of course, we're not gonna be using that. Everybody always just leaves it wide open. And then definitely not the last thing, we got dual adjustable bottom airflow. And then as far as the deck goes, we got a velocity style deck and then that Kennedy airflow. So enough talking, guys. You've already heard these features. Let me just get down to the performance. So here we go, guys. I have it at, let's see, 81 watts. We got 81 watts here. And then we're ohming at 0.11 ohms. Here we go. Definitely not what I'm used to. You guys know that I'm used to my Subtank Mini, and you know that I'm used to around like 35 or 40 watts. So taking it up this high, it's a bit different for me. I might be an experienced vapor, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to vape at high watts. So a different change of pace here, 81 watts, guys. Here we go. Wow. This is nice. And the great thing about this is that I have my menthol flavor in here. So I'm definitely getting a good vape from this. Now I know I produced some good clouds from my sub-ohm tanks, but those sub-ohm tanks just don't compare to what this right here can do. The airflow is huge. It wicks really well. You got that wide bore drip tip at the top. You got the adjustable airflow, quad adjustable airflow here at the top as well. And you can max this thing out at some high wattage. I'm gonna take this thing up to, let's try 90 watts. I don't never do 90 watts because it's too hot, but let's just see how well it does. So far, guys, I'm pleased with the way this thing has turned out. I was expecting to take this video, I was expecting to put these coils in here, wick it up, and then everything start leaking, and then I got to redo the video again to try to get it right. I got it right on the first try, and I'm very pleased with the outcome. Here we go again. Plenty of vapor from this thing. Like, I can just keep producing plenty of vapor. But not only is the vapor great, but the flavor is outstanding. Like I said, I'm using a menthol flavor here. It's like a berry menthol. Matter of fact, it's called Very Cool from Naked 100. That flavor tastes so good in this Griffin RTA. So yeah, guys, Geek Vape definitely did their thing with the Griffin RTA. If you're looking for an RTA, this is one I definitely recommend. Like I said, I've been through a shitload of RTAs and I've been turning down a lot lately because I just suck at building them. Actually, let me rephrase that. I can build them all day long, but the wicking job, I kind of suck at. However, I did the exact same thing that I normally do with this Griffin RTA and everything's going great. I'm not having any leaking issues. Like I said, we've been on this video for a little while now. No leaking issues, and the performance is outstanding. Plenty of vapor. Shit. I think I might have to switch to an RTA, guys. So that about wraps it up, guys. I really don't know what to tell you. As you can see, it's pretty foggy in my office right now. Geek Vape, thank you for sending out this Griffin RTA Plus. I am just super pleased with the way this thing's performing, and I'm super glad that it's not leaking like every other RTA. So guys, if you think this RTA is going to be a good fit for you, if you want to try it out, check it out at geekvape.com. Until next time.